Unity Concord International School. So let me give you a little bit of background on Unity. Unity Concord International School Chiang Mai was opened in 2017 by Amporn and Chugait Garmolgomut. Oh boy, I'm not going to even try to pronounce their family name. I apologize. That family, they are award-winning teachers and school administrators with more than 33 years of experience as educators. The other schools operated by Amporn and Chugait are the Americana Chinese School, Chinese International School with 334 students currently enrolled, British Concordance International School with 56 students currently enrolled, and the Ambassador Bilingual Academy with 337 currently enrolled, the Ambassador Bilingual School with 1,252 students currently enrolled, and the CEC Language and Tutoring School. Unity was founded and opened its doors to students on August 28, 2017, at the time offering pre-kindergarten to grade 5 with an enrollment of approximately 150 students. This number climbed throughout the year to approximately 220 students, and by the end of the second semester. Unity now accepts students from preschool, which is 1.5 years old, to grade 12, and has 958 students currently enrolled. Unity's fourth year of grade 12 graduates consists of 39 students who have been accepted to universities domestically and abroad. And I am super proud and pleased to welcome Heather Ivy to the stage with me. Hello, Heather. How are you today?
I'm good, Stephen. How are you?
You know, I'm a little embarrassed that I cannot pronounce your founder's family name. How do you pronounce
it? It is Ajahn Amporn and Ajahn Chugait Garmolgomut.
Garmolgomut. See, I should have known that. I should have practiced. And this is, it is shame on me, shame on my face for not being able to do that. But moving on, yes. Heather, thanks for joining us. As I've offered to everyone who has presented here throughout the day, as well as yesterday, why don't you give us your perspective on what does it mean to be at Unity? What's the heart of Unity from your perspective?
So the heart of Unity is really our community atmosphere. So for our students and our families to feel like they are one family, kind of tying into the name of the school, Unity Concord, they do feel that unity, which is very important. Our motto is creating together. So our students and our parents are able to join in different activities throughout the school year to be able to do that. And I think that's the kind of the heart of the school.
Oh, fantastic. So tell us about the student body. What does it look like up there in Chiang Mai? What's your diversity look like? What I just read was that there's essentially 1,000 students currently enrolled. Has that number changed, or are you expecting more, et cetera?
We are expecting more. 958 is the currently enrolled students that are here on campus at this time. And we do have students that have already pre-registered for next year, as well as some students who are coming from Thai schools that will start in April after our break to be able to continue the school year and then start the new school year fresh in August of 2023. So our student population, we have over 26 different nationalities. One of the fastest growing nationalities that we have in our school is the Israeli community. We do have a lot of Israeli students coming and new students, potential students that are interested in the school contacting us. So with over 26 different nationalities, it does bring a very diverse group of students to the school.
Absolutely. We have a question already from somebody in the chat here. Michelle wants to know, I see you're part of many schools. As I read off there, your founders have founded many different schools. Does that mean that any child would have access to those schools, or are they completely separate entities, or how does that community of schools work?
Yes, so they are completely separate entities in terms of curriculum, the school layout, the teachers, all of those things. However, we have the ability, if a student wants to move from one of our schools to another one of our schools, say maybe they're currently in the bilingual program and they want to come to an international school, they can directly go into one of our international schools. So even though they are 5 separate schools, we are all working close together so that if students do want to move between one and the other, they have that opportunity.
What about, earlier we heard from another Chiang Mai school. I'd love to hear your perspective on, what does that community look like? So many of the schools that are presenting in our summit this year are from the Bangkok area. or just outside
Right.
the Bangkok area. Pattaya is represented, Phuket is represented as well, but obviously Chiang Mai is a different part of the country.
It is.
What's the difference in that community? What are the pros and cons, the benefits as you see them?
So in Chiang Mai, because Bangkok is very big, obviously. So one of the biggest pros is Chiang Mai is much smaller. So when you're coming to Chiang Mai with the population, it's not as large as Bangkok. Getting around to different areas like the malls and the airport, all of those things are fairly close. So it gives a more homey kind of feel than the big cities.
All right, nice. And how have you felt when parents come? Is that a particular reason they say, hey, we're coming here because we want that smaller feel, we want that, the less pressure, those types of things, or are there other reasons why families are arriving in Chiang Mai or choose this area?
There's a combination of things. Some of them will come due to work. Their company has sent them to work somewhere here in Chiang Mai, in which case they're looking specifically for Chiang Mai. But a lot of them do choose Chiang Mai because it is a smaller city, but it's still accessible and has a lot of interesting things that they can do. So I think that's very important and why a lot of parents do choose to come to Chiang Mai.
We have another question in the chat there. Are there any boarding options at Unity?
We do have a boarding option. So it's not a full boarding school, but we do have a boarding facility that is located just next to the school called U Home. And we can take up to students starting from grade 1 through grade 12 have the option to board there. We have two different options. They can either have their own room or they can have a shared room. So the fees are a little bit different depending on if they're in their own room or sharing a room.
Okay, excellent. And talk to me about, extracurricular activities, outside the class, type of situations, what are you, is there something that you excel in or something that you are particularly known for, or, what does that menage of things look like?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things is sports. Because we are a part of CMAC, which competes against other international schools locally here in Chiang Mai, we are very competitive in our athletic department in terms of after-school sports. So there are different seasons at different times that the students would be able to participate in different sports if they like those sports, like soccer, basketball, futsal, track and field. Right now, some students are in volleyball. So it allows them the opportunity as young as grade 1 to be able to participate in after-school sports. Additionally, we have after-school clubs, which are operated throughout the school year. And what we do is we promote those clubs, different types of clubs for our parents to see what interests their children have, and then they can participate in those as well.
Give me that, like, so what types of clubs do we have? I mean, is it run the gamut of everything from chess to robotics, or what do you have?
It depends. Each year is a little bit different. So we have our basic ones that are always going to be included, like the homework club, the computer club, the STEM or engineering class, art class, and music classes or clubs. Those are kind of the standard ones, but then we have more interest starting in robotics and things like that. So those would be clubs that we would be adding to our current existing clubs.
Super cool. Before we move on to your video for Unity, I'm very interested to hear, as we heard in the introduction, there's, all of these different schools, and it sounds like there's a forward-thinking vision in terms of continuing to develop and grow this school. So what are you looking forward to as this year closes out, maybe to the 2023, 2024 school year, in terms of development, new buildings, new facilities, growing the student body, those kinds of things?
That is a great question, actually, because we are in the process of a new building being built. It's currently under construction, anticipated to be able to be used in August. It will hold 400 more students, and it will have a full auditorium. So we would be able to do programs and things like that in this new building. So it's actually something we're looking forward to, for obviously increasing our student population, but also having that extra facility for our students to do more practicing for performing fine arts and things like that as well.
Super cool. Well, let's move on to watch the video about Unity, and then we're going to come back and actually talk with you about the ambassador program. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and here's the video for Unity.
All right, thank you.
Oops, I just put myself back on mute. And we're back with Heather to
Yes.
actually talk to us about something called the Ambassador Education Group. And so
Yes.
I give the floor to you. I'm very interested to learn about this.
All right, thank you. So Ambassador Education Group, as you mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that we are an education group, and the school founders, Ajahn Amporn and Ajahn Chugait Garmolgomut, actually established this over 33 years ago with the vision of being able to offer different programs within schools for different needs within our families and community. So throughout AEG, we have 3 international schools. 2 of them use the American curriculum, Unity Concord International School, which we've spoke about in quite detail. The other one is Americana Chinese International School. Now, Americana Chinese International School focuses on American curriculum, but also offers Chinese as a second language. So all of our students get 1 class period of Chinese per day. And they're able to extend their language abilities from not just Thai and English, but also Chinese. And they also have a pretty extensive STEM lab, which allows the students to be very creative when they're working in the STEM lab. A fantastic STEM teacher who challenges the students to create different types of projects. And it's really exciting to see when they present those projects. The other school that we have, I know yesterday you guys presented the British curriculum. The other international school we have, British Concordance International School, actually is a British curriculum, but it is the newest school under the Ambassador Education Group. So we are growing in student numbers right now. Currently, we accept students there from preschool for the early years through year 7, and then we will expand later for through year 13. Now, ACIS accepts students from preschool through grade 12. So they're accepting students pretty similar to Unity, but the student population is less on that one. So with the 2 schools, when we're talking about the Ambassador Education Group for BCIS and ACIS, I know that we put up there the 5% tuition discount. That's the standard amongst all of our schools. However, if someone was interested in ACIS or BCIS, and they mentioned the summit here in the email when they contact, then I can give an additional discount for that. So I just want to mention that because that's solely for 3 schools, BCIS, ACIS, and one of our bilingual schools, Ambassador Bilingual Academy. Now, the 2 bilingual schools, ABS is the biggest with over 1,200 students. It is a bilingual school that accepts students from preschool through grade 12, and they have had 10 graduating classes already. So this last group that just graduated last month, there were 61 students that graduated, and some of them have been accepted to universities in America, also Australia, and throughout Thailand as well. So we're really excited to see where those students end up going. And then, of course, Ambassador Bilingual Academy, it was formerly Little Stars, and we rebranded to Ambassador Bilingual Academy because we built a new facility. It is a huge facility. The campus is amazing, and it is a bilingual program that accepts students from preschool through grade 12 as well. And that's one that I think that if you come to see the schools, you'll really like the campus and the spacious facilities that we have there at ABA. So that would be all 5 of the actual schools that we have, but we also have 2 locations for CEC, which is a language and tutoring school. So we kind of cover everything. We go from bilingual schools, international schools, right on to being able to study languages, or also tutoring for students that want to do tutoring for IELTS, for the SATs, HSK for Chinese students, and then also foreign languages. So we do Thai as a foreign language, but we also offer Chinese, French, Spanish, and Russian. So there is a lot of options for people who are interested in joining or learning more about any of our schools. Now, I would like to say right now, for our bilingual schools, ABA and ABS, they're currently doing their summer camp program. And we do have special promotions for the summer camp if somebody wants to come and try the summer camp first to see if they want to join the school later. They're doing summer camp from now through April. So if there is somebody who's interested and they mention again that they mentioned that they attended or watched the summit, then I will be able to give a discount on that. And then for Unity, ACIS, and BCIS, we have our summer camp in July. And the summer camp is a 4-week program. And it's an opportunity because for international schools, we don't accept students for short term. So the only time that they can come and see if they like the school and try it is during our summer camp program. So it's a time that they can kind of see the campus, be able to see the community, the atmosphere, and attend the summer camp programs. And we've got some pretty exciting summer camps this year.
Fantastic. That's great. I was actually just going to ask, do you like what would the student body of of a summer camp look like? Is it 100 students? Is it a couple hundred? Is it like, what are we looking at?
The goal is, before COVID, we had between 600 and 800 students for the international schools. Now for the international schools, specifically, I'm looking at Unity for that number. But for ABS and ABA, the bilingual schools, between 200 and 300 students for summer camp.
Okay, awesome. I really was interested in knowing that because, as you said, that short term, that taster kind of piece, I think is a really interesting thing, especially for those of us in sort of the international lifestyle and everything like that. Well, thank you very much, Heather, for explaining the Ambassador Education Group to us. I definitely put some perspective on it, and I got to be honest with you, that is a very comprehensive offering. And so I hope that with the additional promotion that you just put there, I'm actually going to put your promotion on the screen right now. So I'm going to thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your time. But then I'm going to put the promotion up on the screen, and I'll explain it to everybody.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Have a great day.
You too. And so as you heard, Unity Concord International School as well, if you are registered for the virtual school summit here, they're offering you a 5% off their tuition fee. And then, as Heather just said, that if you send her an email, maybe mention this virtual summit, she has the ability to maybe give you a little bit more there as well. So that's a very exciting opportunity now through March 31st, 2023. So thank you very much to Unity for that. And thank you very much to Heather for her presentation.